Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Big Mike here. Hey, it's Friday, May 9th. Man, guys, it is getting close to mid-America time. I am so excited. I was on the phone last night with the park, working out some last minute details. Oh man, trying to get something done. It was 45 years I worked for the federal government. Uh-oh. And trying to get something done. I learned the process years ago. But the state government in Oklahoma, one of the issues was there's a big wooden sign out front of the park. And you know how it's one of those old fashioned ones where they take the little letters and numbers and they put it in these little tray things that go across. And there's like 2 or 3 numbers or whatever on there. I guess they blew off or something happened. So I asked them, I said, can I put a banner out front? And they don't allow you to put a banner out front. I know over at 10 Killer, we could put a banner out there, but for some reason, they don't want you to put a banner up. So I said, well, you have a sign out there. Do you have the letters? And all I want to do is say, something simple, welcome YouTubers, or Mid-America YouTube meetup or whatever. Well, she says, well, I can't make that decision. And I go, oh. She goes, but let me talk to my boss and I will get back with you. So she called me back and she said, my boss says she can't make or do the approval on it. She's going to have to call the state. I said, okay. And I get it. You can't, as a government, sit out there and support. This would be in the area of support for any private organization. Because if you do it for one, you got to do it for everybody. So we're going through this whole nut roll. Even if I get the word welcome, okay, I don't care. Then I can put a thing out that says, hey, you're going to know where the state park is. Out front of the state park on Highway 50, State Highway 50, it loops from Highway 69, and that highway goes from Sherman, Texas, all the way up to 44, up at Big Cabin, and then beyond. So it loops there and it loops around the entire park and it connects with US Highway 40. And 40 goes from Fort Smith, Oklahoma City. So that's 150. And you can't miss it. There's a big trout the size of bigger than a car van setting out front. So if you see that big fish, you're there. Plus the sign that says you follow state park, Lakeview follow state park. And so I've been dealing with that, fixing people's reservations or they can't get it. So I've been calling them and setting up people's reservations and stuff like that to make sure everybody who's needs a spot gets a spot. The hotels are filling up. I checked with them, but nobody would give me a discount. but they're filling up. Uh, they don't understand. I went to Walmart up in Chakota, and I talked to them, saying, "Hey, these people are going to come to the Walmart, um, looking for a sponsorship. Oh, we got a whole new uh, worldwide marketing, whatever." And they gave me the number, so I called them the other day, and yeah, they're going, well, we do it like in kind type thing. So they give you something, you give them something. They said we don't no longer, just sponsor something for every little thing and stuff like that. So the world's getting tighter on the purse. I get that, but I'm excited. Terrie's excited. She's been down in Waco for the week. She's supposed to come back either today or tomorrow. And she's gone to every big store, getting kids' prizes and adult prizes, just something that catches her eye and stuff like that. I've gotten email after email of people that are bringing stuff. Some really cool stuff is coming for the giveaways. Called some people, friends of ours, and emailed people, doing invites and stuff like that, because some of our friends have pretty huge channels. When I say huge, I'm talking over 100,000 to 1 million followers. We'll see what we can do, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But hey, if they come, they come. And then one significant thing that I've heard on chats is the difference between, and we're not saying this is, by no means is Mid-America the size of Homesteaders of America YouTube meetup and stuff like that, but the last two, the one we had in Eufaula, we had just over 300 people there. A lot of people. Because you got to realize something. Right now, we're at 91 people that we know are coming to Mid-America. That's what we know. And back in the first one we did, we had 102 people say that they're coming, and we ended up with 300 plus. So we don't know what to expect. We're managing everything for the 300 because you got 91 people there. Are they coming alone? No, not all of them. So they got, bring your kids, bring your grandma, bring whoever you want to bring, friends. They brought friends last time. So, hey, we're planning for that. And Terrie's down there, guys, for the potluck. We're going to bring out the cookers, the pots, and Terrie's doing we wanted to do a crawfish boil, but just the price to have stuff shipped up here and where you're going to keep it and all that stuff is like crazy. I found out that Trey at our Louisiana, he won't be there. He has work commitments now. So we're going to miss that ice cream that he makes. But it is what it is. We got a lot of people coming. If you are coming, I'd appreciate it if you go to MT Homestead Facebook page. And there's the event link on there. Click on that. And if you're coming, click the go button so we know. It really helps us to get a head count. And then when you get there, we'll have a sign-in roster. Please sign that sign-in roster and how many people you brought to Mid-America. Okay? That way we know who showed up. We can send you out an email thanking you and stuff like that. So that's what we got so far on Mid-America. If you are bringing a giveaway, please email us at mthomesteadok@gmail.com. It's in the About page on our channel. And let's see. And if you're bringing something to support the Mid-America, I know we got people bringing grills. They're bringing Blackstones. They're bringing tortillas. They're bringing soda. They're bringing water. And make sure you bring a potluck thing. The crawfish boil is going to be good. That's going to be some good stuff, guys. And that's just part of the whole potluck. So hope to see everybody there. I know those who can't make it, we understand. Just remember that June 6th through the 8th, Simply Jan has the Ozark meetup at Lake Pomme de Terre over in Missouri. So if you can make that one, all the information, go to Jan's channel. She does have a video on the visit with a bunch of information. You can actually stop the video and she's got information throughout the video. And then we've got the Pinecone Fest in October and more information on that. I know Jesse, I don't know if Jesse's in here, but if he comes in, hopefully he'll post a bunch of that stuff. So guys, I put the link at the top. If you would like to come up and join me on the live stream, be my guest. I will bring you up and you can be part of this crazy morning talk with Mike. And we don't have an agenda. We do have a couple of things I want to talk about, but we have no agenda. We'll talk about, if you've been in here at any time, it can go this way and then we just dart over to the side on different topics and conversation. So Joe Fix It For You was in here at 6:58 this morning. I think he had to beat Ginger Snap and everybody else that beat him last time. Let's see who else is in here. Let me get the right mouse in my hand. So Joe Fix It For You was in here. There's Miss Charmaine. Welcome in. Or she was in here at right before 8 o'clock. There is Cha Mix Vlogs. Sek Bucci's here. Hey, there's Annie. She's in here. Crystal made it in. Iram. Iram is from Turkey. And there is Tamara, Heartland headquarters with Dink and Tank. Good to see you. There is our friend Abby G. Stephanie's came in. I don't know if our Asian, Filipino, Korean, India, Turkey, Brazil, everybody's still in here, but they did come in. Remember, they're 14 hours ahead of us. So there's Journey Smile. Shane Roz is here. Come on, mouse. Leela and Layla, hello. They're members of our channel. There's Karen Gradiosi. There's Gertie Sena. Welcome in. There's Terry Hello, hello. Hey, Gloria. Glad you came in. Let's see. Hey, there is Sir Paul Honeyman from England. Hey, big news on the U.S. and England. We're going to be talking about that. Huge. There's Miss Arlene. Welcome in. That's such a beautiful picture of her. Let's see. There he is. There is our friend over at Lazy Days Ahead. And speaking of friends, this episode of Morning Talk with Mike is brought to you by our friends over at Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa. Please show them some love, guys. They are our sponsors for the day. In fact, Jesse's been doing a lot of engraving for Mid-America. If you're lucky enough to get one of the travel mugs that we made, it'll have our logo on there and the Mid-America logo on there. Guys, one-time run. We'll never make them again. We'll be giving away, I'm thinking probably 20 of those. So get ready. Jesse made me 24, but Terry and I got one, and we turned around and gave those away to some dear friends of ours that we visited while we were up at Ten Killer. So we're going to take 2 of those, so that leaves 20. So we're going to be giving away 20 travel mugs. So hopefully somebody's lucky enough to get those. We appreciate everything Jesse does for us. Elsa, hello and welcome in. I don't have my glasses on. I should put my glasses on. I'm squinting. I got a new pair of glasses coming from the VA. These are from Walmart. I actually went and had my eyes done. They said, hey, you got astigmatism. These are not good for stigmatism. Just makes it worse. So I had my eyes checked, went up there. They're making me a new pair of glasses. They're going to ship them to me once everything's done. I really don't like the rim around it. I like where it's just glass. So, let's see. Hey, there's Jennifer Ocean Homestead. Our friend out in Tucson. There she is, Mini Cactus. I always like going into her. She has some great conversations every morning, guys. I got up late today and I didn't get in there. But great channel. A lot of good adult conversation in there to start your morning off. There is our friend Shirley De La Cruz. Welcome in. There's James Hall. Always like seeing him. He supports so many channels, guys. Always good to see him at the meetups too. There is our friend Wendy over at Hardneck Farms. I never realized how tall or how short you were, Wendy. You look taller, but your husband, man, that's a big drink of water. She's married too. Yeah. Oh, let's see. There's Marco. And I made it to the bottom, it looks like. And finally, oh, there you go. There is Tony. Our cabin in the woods. Joe Fix It For You made it back in. Mean punch. Yeah. and people saying hello to each other. So, guys, if you want to come up, the link's at the top. Please join me on this live this morning. I would appreciate that. Yep, Shirley De La Cruz is over here. She came over from Husky Edna, our friend down in Australia. So, people. Okay, so, guys, we got a new pope. Guys, we have got a new pope. It is, I believe he's 69 years old. So he's going to be pope for a while, unless he retires like the German pope did. But he is the first American to become pope. I think there's like, there has been, 267 popes throughout history. Like 217 have been Italian. Pope Francis was the first pope from the Americas. He's from South America. But the first American, guys, that's huge. So he has taken the name of Pope Leo the 14th, and he is the first American pope. The Roman Catholic Church has a new pope, they said, Leo the 14th, to lead the 1.4 billion Catholics around the world. To put that into perspective, 1.4 billion Catholics. Right now, all the information that I've looked into is there are 2.4 billion Christians in the world. So over 50%, okay, of the 2.4, 1.4 are Catholic. Okay. And to even break that down, if you look at Islam, there are 2 billion people that their religion is Islam. Hinduism, there are 1.2 billion. Okay. And it's probably one of the oldest religions in history is Hinduism. Buddhism, there is 500 million Buddhists that they know of. And Judaism has 16 million. So when you look at listening to that, hey, there is John Goes Outdoors. Welcome in, brother. And there's our friend Daisy. Welcome in. I always go in. I see her in the mornings. Get in there and see those great people that follow her channel every morning. So if you're up before 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, look for Daisy. She always has a good show that she does every morning. Gets people together, and you're going to find out that there's a lot of people you don't know. Okay. Let's see. Anybody? Hey, there's Rebecca Touched by Yarn. Good to see you. Pope Leo the 14th is an American Republican. Yes, he has voted Republican. Doesn't agree with a lot, and with Trump, but he is a Republican. He has always voted Republican. But I think there's a lot of Republicans that love or like what Trump is doing. I think that there are Republicans that find his. Why are you calling me, Terry? Terry? I'm live right now. You're just like your mother. And I'm letting everybody here know. Your mom calls in our live and you call when I'm live on Friday. I will call you back. I love you. Bye. See, just like her mom. And I keep telling her that. When we go live on Wednesday, her mom calls. She goes, "Oh, I didn't know you go live." Mom, we go live for the last 4 years on Wednesday. She goes, "Oh, okay. I'll try to remember that." Next Wednesday, calls again. And so there's Terry following her mother's footsteps. Uh, so she goes, "So Terry's not in here, right?" But anyway, people don't care for his abrasive way he does stuff. He just tells you like it is. He doesn't think about your feelings. Here it is. Like it, don't like it, how he presents it. The fact of the matter is things getting done? Has he been doing what he said he was going to do? Okay. Half of America don't like him. Other half likes him or a little bit more like him. But hey, I look at what did you promise? What are you delivering? And presidents throughout history have not done that. They tell you what you want to hear. They kiss your baby and they steal the lollipop. Okay. So he is a Republican. He has voted that way. And we're going to see what his stance on the last, how long was Francis in? 12, 14 years, something like that, 12 years? I think it was like 12 years or something like that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But this guy, if he leaves at the same age as Francis, he'll be in there over 25 years as Pope. Theoretically, he could be. So let's see what the direction he takes the Catholic Church. Pope Francis had some controversial things that he has done, said, and implemented that some Catholics don't like. Some Catholics do. But hey, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one, as Mr. Spock would say. So let's see how that goes. But prior to his historic election Thursday via the conclave, Leo was known as Cardinal Robert Prevost. The 69-year-old was born in Chicago, making him the first American to be elected to the papacy. The Pope was born on September 14th, 1955 in Chicago, raised in the nearby suburb of Dalton in Illinois. The Pope completed his undergraduate education at Villanova University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in mathematics in 1977. He then earned a master's of divinity degree from Chicago's Catholic Theological Union in 1982 and was ordained a priest that same year. So he's been a priest since 1982. He later picked up a doctorate degree in canon law from the Pontifical College of St. Thomas in Rome. So he's a smart guy. Okay. He has spent most of his time as a priest and as a cardinal down in Peru. And I think I read somewhere that he has because he was in Peru for so long, he has a dual citizenship going on there. And that's just to stay in the country, probably. But yeah, he is hopefully a breath of fresh air. If you are hey, there's Lucy Warren's World. How are you doing? Oh, that's Troy Sutton. It jumped as soon as I clicked on it. Lucy Warren's in here. Did I put this one out and about with Dave and Daisy? Making bullets and sinkers. All right. Was Ginger in here? There she is. There's my Ginger Snap. There's Rainy Ridge. Welcome in. I guess it went down while I was reading. Oh, Terry is in here. There's my beautiful bride. She probably got her days mixed up down there. She probably thought it was Thursday. Now that I'm home every day because I'm retired, sometimes we don't even know what day it is. I have to set alarms and stuff. There you go, Paul. Paul's always spreading the love. Hey, there's Paranormal Walks. Guys, check that out. You got some creepy stuff going on over there. And I get into that stuff. I'm subscribed to quite a few paranormal channels around the world. Okay, German. I got a few over there because I understand and speak German. England. They got some scary stuff over in England. We got it right here in the States. So yeah, I enjoy their channel. Again, everybody, there's a link at the top. Please come in and join me. I don't know what you're scared of. Yeah. So yeah, the new Pope, I watched it on the news. And I was talking to Jesse, and he was watching it down there at his place. And yeah, they every news agency, boom. Because guys, this is huge stuff. Okay. I mean, you go from you're a priest, you're down in Peru, nobody knows who you are. And now you're the face of the Catholic Church. And one of the other things, Francis put him in charge of the bishop selections. Okay. Just like there is a cardinal that's in charge of running the conclave for the Pope or to select the Pope. He was the guy in charge of the bishops. So, you know, you're going from priest to bishop, and they do the same thing in selecting people to become bishops and stuff like that. And I think I read somewhere that they were even looking at Cardinal Dolan out of New York. He was on the list too. There was people on the list. They put out a thing of, hey, these are the top runners. You know, didn't even the Pope wasn't even on that list that everybody was saying, oh, these should be the front runners and blah, blah, blah. You know? And people who were bishops knew who he was. Okay? Who Leo the 14th was, or AKA Robert Prevost, Cardinal Prevost. They knew who he was, and now they're cardinals. Okay? and what was there, like 132 cardinals doing some voting, and I think you had to get like 89 votes. So yeah, I mean, I think there was somebody, I can't remember who they said it was. They didn't become pope until like the 14th ballot. Okay, 14. But I would more hope that it wasn't a popularity contest, but it was a divine uh, intervention, if you will, that they were inspired to choose Pope Leo the 14th to become Pope and the leader and the face of the Catholic Church. Yeah, that's what I believe, and I'm going to tell you something. I remember it wasn't popular, but I grew up. My mom converted to become a Mormon, and everybody was forced that direction in our family. But I used to go with, and I didn't really. I guess I really wasn't a religious type guy back in the day when I was younger. Um, when things are forced on you and you don't really like it, um, it was, it's. I'm not going to say it's like you're not being who you truly are, and so I rebelled against everything religious for the longest time, and I just lived my life. The Army goes, "Hey, what religion do you want on your dog tags?" And I said, "None," because I kind of believed that it doesn't matter where you're at. If you believe, you believe. And I didn't really, in my heart, give myself to Christ until 1991. And I was in the middle of the desert, and a close personal friend, a battle buddy, if you will, died in Iraq. And it is one thing to see somebody, because I was an MP, and I've seen people that have committed suicide, shot themselves, or whatever, beaten to death, and it really didn't hit me. But then a close personal friend, me and him both went to basic non-commissioned officer school together. He died, and his wife and his family and me and my family did a lot of things together. But I zipped the bag up that we put him in, and I helped lift it and put it inside a vehicle. And it hit me so hard because somebody you personally had feelings for as a brother, as a best friend, basically, that you shared, a mud hole, a foxhole, training with, somebody you were willing to die, step in front of a bullet for. But it hit me hard, and people could see the change. And they said, "Hey, why don't you just set this one out?" No, I was one of those people. Nope. If my guys are going to do something, I'm going to be right there because I'm not going to let that happen to them. So Sunday rolled around, and I'd gone and got a cup of coffee um, from one of the vehicles. Of guy had a sterno thing and a cowboy coffee pot, and went over there and got it. And I looked for some reason. I just told myself I'm going to take a little stroll. I need to get my thoughts together. It was Sunday, and I seen a vehicle come in, a Humvee, and it had the chaplain's flag uh, on the antenna. And he pulled up, and I was sitting there watching him, and he opened up the back end of the Humvee, started putting on his scarf and stuff, and preparing sacrament and stuff like that. And I sat there, and I was just sitting there, and I leaned up against an APC, armored personnel carrier, and I just sat there and watched him. And then all of a sudden, these soldiers started walking over there, and they had like MRE boxes they were going to use as seats. Some of them had steel chairs and 5-gallon water buckets they were hauling over there just to have a seat and stuff. And they were like a semicircle around the priest. And I walked over there, and I was just standing there. And the priest started talking. And if you're Catholic, you know this. If you're not Catholic, you've probably seen it. There's a whole thing that they have to do. And then he started talking. And I'll probably break up over this, but he started talking about, you can't go to heaven without Christ in your heart. You have to build a relationship. And then he started talking about Christ and God. He said, imagine this. Christ and God are sitting in heaven. And they're reading the morning paper, the Heaven Tribune or whatever he said. And they're flipping the pages, and they get to the obituaries. And they said, oh man, he goes, John Smith died. That's really sad. And looked over at St. Peter, and he said, hey, Peter, did John Smith make it up here? And he said, no, I haven't seen him. He goes, oh man, that's been over a week, so he must be somewhere else. And then he looks at the next one. He goes, oh my gosh. And he said he grabbed Christ by the arm. God did. And he said, Mary Johnson died. And they just stopped. And it hit him hard. And then he asked everybody, why did it hit them hard when John Smith? It didn't hit him hard when John Smith died. But with this other lady, it hit him hard. And they all started looking at him. They're going, He goes, it's because she had a personal relationship with both of them. And I'm going, holy crap. And he said, just like us, when you build a relationship with somebody, their death hits you hard. A mother, a brother, a cousin, a dear friend, whoever, it hits you harder. And it hits God and Christ the same way because you have given yourself to them. And that's when I sorry. That's when I gave my heart to Christ. And I am a Catholic. That was a pivotal time in my life. And that's when things changed. So, and that's why I bring this up today. The new Pope. And I wish him the best. I hope he leads the Catholic Church in the direction that God wants it to go. And that the billions of people around the world stopped yesterday to see who our new leader is. So anyway, I wish somebody would come up here because I'm falling apart. But that was a great day yesterday. So let's move on. Okay. I can't apologize for what's in my heart, but yeah. So anyway, what is this? The military taxes use Battle of Cowpens, double envelope, still used. Yeah. But yeah, it was kind of, it just like that, what I experienced with my battle buddy dying and what I was feeling. Oh, what I was feeling, that was supposed to happen. Okay. And he didn't know what I was feeling. The priest didn't know. He had this prepared way before. And that's when my world came together. So there you go. All right. Hey, there's Gary. What's going on, brother?
How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Trying to give you an update. I'm a little delinquent as usual. But anyway, guess what's in here, brother?
Honey.
It's not just honey, brother. It's G Money honey.
G Money honey.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to tell you what I did. Um, I packaged it pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with myself. I'm going to send it through the postal service. Hopefully it gets there, but it's
Yeah,
pretty well packaged. But I don't know if you remember, they always ask you, is there anything liquid, perishable, lithium batteries, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna play dumb. I can do that pretty easily.
yeah.
And so anyway, it's pretty well wrapped and goes out priority today, probably in a couple hours. Then I'm gonna say you probably have it by Tuesday. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. So
That's fine.
there's 4 jars of honey, two with I don't even think I have my label here. Anyway, two with my channel stickers. Yeah, two with the channel stickers on it, and two with American flag on it.
Okay.
So I really like those. So I don't know how you're going to do your giveaway or raffle or whatever you're doing, but maybe the two with the American flags could just be a veterans only type thing. It's up to you,
Sure.
whatever you want to do. And
Yeah.
then I enclose a little uh, American flag card with I think I put 4 of my channel stickers in there and 4 American flags. So whatever you want to do with those, have at
Okay.
it. And just wanted to follow up because I still got to put your address on here. I do have your address, obviously,
Okay.
and that's all. I I put so much pressure on myself sometimes. I go crazy. By the way, I didn't catch the entire story, but I caught the gist of it, and I I feel you there. So um, anyway, that's all. I just want to say hi and let you know it's in the mail. I have no idea. It's pretty heavy,
Yeah.
so it, we'll get it there one way or the other. If it has to go by
Fine.
donkey, we'll get it there by donkey, whatever.
All right, brother. I
All right,
appreciate you.
all right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Did get the
Uh,
fishing hooks for the hats. They did come in, and I
oh, you
appreciate
know
that.
what?
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to. I forgot to put the baggies in the box. Oh well, you have to figure it out.
Okay, we'll
those,
figure it
those little baggies I promised you. Dang, I knew I was forgetting something.
out.
All
Yep.
right. All right.
All
Take
right,
care.
brother. Bye.
Bye bye.
So there's Gary at Jailbait Tackling Outdoors. He's sending us honey for the meetup to give away, and we will do that just for him. Um, yeah, Peter Dale down in Australia land. Welcome in, brother. Glad you're here. So, Paul Honeyman, here's a thing I wanted to talk about. President Trump announced a trade agreement with the United Kingdom on Thursday. Everybody was worried. Everybody's saying, oh my gosh, tariffs and the trade and blah, blah, blah. And Trump kept telling everybody, calm down. Okay. The media is, this is we're going to hell in a handbasket. All this stuff is going on, blah, 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 blah. Just to get people riled up and get people hating. Okay. Um, but they worked out a trade deal with the first country, and that is the United Kingdom. And I'm going to tell you, United Kingdom is like 4% of the world trade. And if you go 4%, that's huge. Okay. He said there were like somewhere in between 4 and 6% of what they do is world trade. And that brings in trillions of dollars to the UK. Now, how they spend that money, only the citizens know that. But they did do a trade agreement on Thursday, noting that it will be the first of many. Both Trump and British Prime Minister, I'm going to say it wrong, Keir Starmer, said final details are being worked out. Trump said, however, the UK agreed to fast track American products through its customs process because we're most favored nations together. Okay? Instead of all that red tape that you have to go through, they're going to streamline it. The Trump administration also says that it is actively negotiating with India, South Korea, and Japan. Okay, and they're at the table now. Okay, and to agree on what is the acceptable equal tariff between the countries, which is very, very important because remember, and we've said this before, all tariff monies go to the federal government, not the businesses or anything like that. It goes to the federal government. And the more money you can bring in tariffs, the more likelihood taxes will not be raised, and or like a lot of states like Florida, okay, they don't have a state income tax, and they're getting rid of the state property tax. Okay, but in order to get that state property tax removed, you have to be a resident or qualify as a resident for the state of Florida. Now, if you, like they were saying on the news thing, if you're a Brazilian and you own a vacation home in the States, or you're from Germany or you're from wherever, and people with moolah buy houses so they can come over and stay there. People like us, we're just happy having our home and trying to pay our mortgage, right? But if you got money, these people will still have to pay property tax to the state of Florida. They don't qualify because it's for resident citizens of the state of Florida. Now, if you have a summer home and you live in New York, you're paying property tax on your property. Okay? It's not excluded for foreigners. Even if you're from another state and you have a summer vacation home, villa, whatever, condo, you're going to pay property tax on that in the state of Florida, but not the citizens. So that's huge. And Trump wants to get it to a point. Hey, Paul. Trump wants to get it to a point where tariffs and the money that we bring in for tariffs can replace the federal income tax, because he believes, okay, and economists believe that if they work this out and they do a bang up job on this, we'll be bringing in way more money than income tax ever brings in. And that's the goal of setting the tariffs. So everybody can bitch and complain. And then when and hopefully if this all gets worked out, everybody that believed in Trump can turn around and say, nanny, nanny, boo, boo, you stupid idiots. Okay. So, and that's just me saying that, because where have we gone in 250 years coming up? We went to $36 trillion. So something wasn't working. Yeah, rich were getting richer, but poor were getting poorer, and the middle class is getting pulled like two parents fighting in a divorce, and each parent's got an arm and they're stretching the kid out. That's what the middle class feels like. So why not try it? Okay, nobody but Trump, whoever sat in the Oval Office, was a businessman. Okay, lawyers. Okay, predominantly have sat in the Oval Office. Okay, I don't trust a lawyer. You can put 25 um, lawyers at the bottom of the ocean, and what do you got? A good start. Okay, so I just think that people, um, I am so sick of news and politicians acting like 2-year olds. That's what I'm sick of. News agency gets you going so you keep fighting. Politicians give news agency, you know, reasons to go that direction. Okay. If your politician is such a dimwit, then you just need to get him out of office and put somebody up there that wants to work and make America great again and not tear us down and keep us back instead of moving forward. Okay. So, number one, if I got to pay a little bit more for a while and then down the road, life is freaking peaches and cream, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So, what's going on, Paul?
I'm going to upset some people here, and I don't care.
There you go. I'm on board with you.
The American people now remind me of a very good film called The Patriot with Mel Gibson. William Wallace, the one that Mel Gibson played, he stated, why should we go to war against one who's overtaxing us just to get 350 in office to tax us? They are making themselves richer and richer, while the poor modern muppet, and I don't mean that to offend anybody, but the normal person on the street, as I call them, a muppet, are getting poorer and poorer because the government are feeding themselves. It's about time for the second civil war.
Yeah.
The people need to kick the bastards out of office. Bring in terms. The president has a term. Why should he be the only one?
Yeah.
Now let the hate commence.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just it is absolutely, yeah. And I'm telling you something. Whoever the politicians were that they got elected, and oh, by the way, the whole premise of politicians is to speak on behalf of your constituents. That is the whole purpose of sending somebody to Washington or to your state capital, to speak on your behalf. Okay. So whoever the dipshit was, and I'm sorry for if there's young listeners out there, Susan, she knows who she is out in Arizona. Susan, put your fingers in your grandson's ear because I'm about to lay the smack down. Whoever the politicians were that went to your state or went to the federal government and said, hey, well, not at the federal government, but at the state. Hey, I got something for y'all. We can make a crap ton of money if we tax everybody on the property that they own or where their house sits on. Dude, we could get a crap ton of money. This is
I don't agree with that.
Well, hang on. These are the politicians way back when that said, hey, and they all looked at each other and said, oh man, my people are going to love this. They're going to love it. We're going to tax them on everything. And we're going to call it property tax. Okay.
But don't
Put up a building.
you have land tax?
Hang on. And then they're going to put up a barn, and then we're going to send somebody out there, and we're going to say, oh, the value of that barn is added to your property tax. And then somebody else says, hey, here in Oklahoma, we raise a lot of beef. Let's put a tax on every head of livestock in the state. What a great idea. My people are going to love this. Who are those dipshits that came up with this?
I totally agree with
That
what
was supposed
Tom
to
says.
speak for you and me. Who were they? I want some names. Hopefully they're dead and buried, because that was not a good idea to speak on behalf of your people just so you can make more money and grow the government even bigger in your state. Okay? Who are those idiots? That's what we should be asking ourselves.
Yep. I totally agree on most of that. You should
Susan,
not
you
be
can
able.
take the fingers out of your grandson's ear now.
No, I'm just going to get the beard out. I don't like what you've done. I prefer you with a full.
Yeah, Terry said I looked old as shit. And
You are.
well, I am. I'm 60. I'm 64. But she said, "Man, it's not a good look on you." And I
It
said, "Well,
was.
it's because you're not used to it." And
It was a brilliant look on you, and Terry was just trying to make you look younger for her.
I know she says you do what you want to do, but I could see it in her eyes.
Yeah,
And
she's saying you know what you want to do, but you better make me happy.
I really, truly like cuddling up with her in the bed, okay, and kissing on that woman. And she
Oh,
was
I
like,
see. So she was using emotional blackmail.
whoa. She's going, whoa, Grandpa. All right, whoa, whoa, whoa. And so I'm going to tell you something. True statement. And it's been said a billion times.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy life. And that's all I care about. So the goatee's
That's why
back.
I'm not married.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
So
why I'm not
the
married.
goatee's back and Terry's happy. So after I shaved it off, she took off and went to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saved that to make her happy, and she buggers off to see the daughter.
It's like Blake Shelton said, she's probably in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she wants me to move to Texas so bad. She loves it down there. But
Yeah, but you want to move to a different part of Texas, don't you?
yeah, I don't want to live in a big metropolis. For me, if I have to drive 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever to a Walmart, I'm happy. But like Terry said, I told her, I said, if this is our house that we buy in Texas, I will not pay for it if there's a house right next to me.
Yeah.
I ain't living that way. This house needs to be way, way over here. Okay. And I don't want to pay city tax or nothing. If I had my rathers, we would buy a few acres in Texas, have a barn dominium built on there with an open concept, and I'm going to be happy as all get out. Okay. Because I don't want to pay the rest of my life, whatever 20, 30 years I have left on this earth, still paying for a house. We'll sell this, whatever we make on this, that money will go into a barn dominium, and we'll just build on what we make off this house. And I'm happy. She'll be happy. Okay. I'm telling her, I said, hey, 15 to 1900 square foot is way more than we need for two people. Okay. This thing here is almost 3,800 square foot. And who wants to clean that crap? Not me, not her, you know? So I just want a concrete floor that's colored and I just want an open concept barn dominium with 2 or 3 bedrooms, 1.5, 2 baths or whatever. Because I don't want people using my bathroom when you have guests over, walking through my little love nest bedroom.
We get what you mean, Tamara. Bondo.
What's that?
She's been trying to put in barn dominium, so she shortened it to Bondo.
A barndo, yeah, that's what we call them, barndos.
But it's coming up as Bonso's Brando.
Oh, Brando.
Typo. No, really?
Holy crap. Here in Australia, we pay property tax on investment homes of nearly $2,000 per year.
Yeah.
Wow.
The United States are not the only ones whose government
I'm going to tell you something. If you lined up everybody in America, everybody in Australia, or everybody in England, and they had to single filely come in there and say, do you want a property tax or you don't want a property tax? I would probably tell you that the no property tax side will be flooded, and there probably won't be one person on the other side that says, oh, I think property tax is a great idea, and say, oh yeah, I'll vote for that one. If I'm telling you something, these people, our politicians, are not looking for the best interest of their constituents. They're not. No, they're not. They have an agenda.
You can't convince me that they are.
And they're idiots.
You don't have to convince me they're not.
Hell yeah. You know what? If there was a chance I would win, the only thing I don't want is all these news agencies looking at my past and bringing everything up. That
I couldn't be your vice president either.
I wouldn't even run for county sheriff, or I wouldn't run for a mayor of our little town here of 35 people where I live. Okay. And that's what I talk about. I want to live in a place, there's 35 people that live around me in this town that we live in. 35.
There's one time, number. I believe there's one time you should pay property tax. When you buy the property.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're going to do that, but you'll never own your house. As long as there's property tax, you never own it. Because don't pay your property tax for whatever length of time and see how long when they put your place up for sale. And they don't even own it.
But what I'm saying is, you should be able to build whatever you want on your property and not have to pay tax on that. The only time you should have to pay tax is when you buy the property, whatever modifications or renovations you do to it should not count.
Yeah.
Why should the government get rich because you're spending money to make yourself
better? And then on top of that, you're paying all that interest.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't have to. If you've paid property tax, not property tax, if you've bought the property, bought it outright, there's no interest to pay, and there shouldn't be any apart from that first initial tax. You shouldn't have any more tax to pay.
I agree. But then again, I'm looking at you're building or you're buying a dwelling for your family. Why should there be a tax on it at all? That would be taking care of the people. The state, the city didn't do shit to that house. They didn't do nothing. Here's why the big reason for the Revolutionary War and the Civil War. Okay.
Oh, don't go talking about the traitors.
Hang on. Taxation without representation.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest reasons for both of those wars we were in. Yes, the Civil War Part of it was slavery, to abolish slavery. I get that. But the reason the South was so angry at the North, read your history books, okay, is because the South felt, just like the Americans felt with England, taxation without representation. They were feeding the North and getting nothing in return. All the farmland, all the productivity, the cotton fields, all that stuff was down south. Okay? Down south. And they were feeding the North. The North was in industrial North back then.
And that's what that fella in.
They were building trains. They were doing all that stuff up there. But the South was feeding everybody, and it felt like they had no voice. That was just another reason for both of those wars. Okay? And so that's the same thing now. It kind of feels like we are the same thing. We're sending people to Washington, but we have no represented voice up there, because some of the crap that they're doing is not for the best interest of the people they're serving. And that's what I feel like. And that's what a lot of people feel like. And it's wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I wish we had Doge.
Oh, man, if you had Doge and everybody had to submit to a search and a seizure, oh my gosh. Look, they're going to recover enough money to Social Security is going to go just fly past 2030, because everybody said 2030 is going to be the end. Well, why is it the end? When you've got millions of people that are dead still collecting a paycheck, somebody's spending it.
Who is collecting that paycheck?
That's who they need to find out. Because I get it. When your parents get old, a lot of times there's somebody that's acting as an executor or a helping family member to help them with their banking, and they're on the account with them. So Papa and Mama, they die, okay, but the money's still coming in. But who had access to it besides them? That's who they need to throw in jail.
But is it coming in? I don't believe all that missing money is going to families of people that have died. There's people out there that have been dead for years and they've got no family, and their money's still going somewhere.
Yeah, it's in a bank. I mean, what they need to do is say, okay, Paul's been dead for 15 years, and we keep sending money to this bank account. Why? Because Social Security computer system cannot talk to the U.S. Treasury computer system, and that's what they found out. The reason dead people checks aren't stopping is because Social Security can't talk to the Treasury. Treasury got a note that says, hey, these people qualified for Social Security back in 1980, so start paying them. Okay, we just start paying them. That's our government. We go, okay, nope. Social Security said it's okay. Let's just keep paying them, and nobody tells them that they're dead. Hey, you know that paper that you sent over? Hey, oh, by the way, Paul died. Stop sending money.
Paul died in 95.
Holy crap. And now you got the bank account. Now find his bank account and said, oh, man, Paul has been collecting money since, he died in this year. Let's say 10 years, this money's been going in there. We're taking it. Boom. And rip it out, put it back in the Treasury. That's what they're trying to do.
I hope they do. Because it's better off in the Treasury than in corrupt politicians. But Paul died in 95 and was brought back twice.
Yeah.
So I'm only 30, not 60. That's why I'm as daft as I am.
Yeah, I heard that. In some of the states, they tax you on capturing rainwater on your own
That's
property.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got to pay for all the equipment to capture the bloody rainwater. So why should you have to pay for the water? It's like when you build a house.
Joey's trying to get on my good side.
Yeah. That's only because I threatened to tell Ginger about him and Wendy.
Yeah, I think in Oklahoma, in my county, there's a 6% tax on buying farm implements.
Oops, did I say that aloud, Joey?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tamara, if Terry had her way, we'd be moving to Texas. Yeah. Well, good law, the taxation of rainwater. Oh, wow. It is getting ridiculous.
Hello, Fuzzy.
We don't know. We don't know in Texas. The great thing about we don't know where we want to live, it makes it open. It's not like saying we want to move down there. We're going to live by Brittany, okay, in Waco. So now you just you can draw a circle around that and say we're going to live in this area here. We're not saying that. We're saying all of Texas is open for negotiation. Okay. We want to find the right place, the right price, the right house. We don't have a timeline. There's nothing pushing us that direction. We're financially okay living right here. But I'm going to tell you something. We've lived here coming up on 5 years. We've lived in this house. And
I know what the problem
our house, the value of our house from when we bought it to the value right now that we're getting taxed on is $140,000 to $160,000 more. But in reality, it still should be the same price as it cost to build it. Okay? This is all fluctuated rate increase for tax purposes only so they can get more money. Okay? Here's what it is. You can have a baseball card from a famous baseball player back in the 20s, and you can look in a book and it says, oh, that one's worth $1,700. No, it's worth whatever somebody is willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay. And the same thing with your house. You buy a house. Let's say you buy a house for $250,000. Okay. That was what they said the value of the house in that year was. Now you go, okay, we've lived here 10 years. Now they're saying this house, now remember, this house is getting old year after year after year. But the taxation of it, they said, oh, your house is taxed now on $310,000. Okay. From the day you bought it 10 years later, now you're paying taxes on property tax because they're saying nowadays it's worth this much. It's still the same. The house, you'd think it goes down, but no, because of taxation, it goes up. Now, but it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. That's why you go on Zillow. You said, man, that house has been on the market for 465 days. Holy crap. You're set on your price. You must think, hey, somewhere, some idiot from Oklahoma is going to buy our house. You know? So yeah, epoxy floors. That's what I want. I want them when if we build a barn dominium, I want that whole concrete. I want them to mix that color in there so it looks like marble. And I'm good with like a greenish marble, real light greenish, not some big minty green floor, or like a grayish black. Or
So you don't want a minty cactus floor?
no, I don't want something so bright that it hurts your eyes. Yeah, if you ever been down to Bisbee, Arizona, why they do this, you can go down there and every color in the rainbow. We've seen purple houses, yellow houses, green minty houses. It's like it's part of that culture, all those old houses they do. But I don't want that. I'm good with a barn dominium. It can be black with wood.
You should never have gone and seen John.
Yeah. So I want it. I want more space in the open space, and then have the bedrooms in the back. And it can be I want the vaulted ceilings. I want tall vaulted ceilings. I want the guest rooms upstairs, and then 2 guest rooms upstairs in the back. I want them upstairs on the second floor, and then the whole bottom floor behind the kitchen I want is a master suite.
Yeah. The only thing I don't agree with there,
and Terrie's in here. That's where the magic happens.
When Terrie says so.
Well, no, because we play Dungeons and Dragons.
Terrie's going to beat you up. Yeah, but you don't want people staying in your house. You want the cabins out the back for that.
Well, yeah, if you can afford to put, something like that, but I want it simple, sleek, clean, and I have to live in it. That's all I care about.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Wendy. The government should lose their homes before widows do.
Yeah. It's kind of like gun control. They're trying to do everything, but the people that walk around them, they're packing to the hilt.
Yeah.
It's okay for them to carry, but it's not okay for you. I mean, I just don't get it. Don't build a border fence, but then you go to their house and they have security fence all the way around their property.
Oh yeah, bunch of
people
hypocrites. I had to stop myself swearing then, but politicians are hypocrites. But the way I seen something on Facebook yesterday, and it's perfect for your gun control laws.
Yeah.
There's a woman says to a man, "Take one more gun off the streets and we'll be happy. We'll be safer." So the man says, "Okay, so maybe we should close our borders and deport the criminals. Then we'll be safer."
Yeah.
Who's right? Who's wrong?
Yeah. And if your politician is flying down to El Salvador to help rescue a MS-13 gangbanger that's already been proved that he is, that assaults his wife, that's here in the States illegally, he's an El Salvadorian citizen, okay? If your congressman or senator is going down there to do that, y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to wake up.
Yeah.
Okay? Y'all need to wake the hell up.
They should all go. Never mind. And oh bollocks! Anytime a man has been convicted of beating a woman, they should break his hands.
Agree.
Hello. Tamara's looking to buy something.
There you go. The world needs Doge. I agree.
I disagree. All Western civilizations need Doge.
Yeah.
As for those that we class as third world and Muslims, we should keep our noses out of it. Why should we enforce our way onto them?
Oh, I think it's up to each country, you know. If you want to know where your money's going, you need a Doge to rip your government apart and find out what we're finding out what our government is actually doing with your tax dollars.
Yeah. And
Okay.
that's why the politicians are so scared.
Yeah. Because they know. Okay.
They don't just know, they've had the fingers in the pockets.
Yeah.
They've all been clawing it. It's like watching chickens in a barnyard. You throw in the corn and see who gets there first.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you.
I've long said politicians should not be allowed to become millionaires in office.
I agree.
I mean, we've got prime ministers. They get nearly $250,000 a year. That's pounds, not dollars. £250,000 annually for pensions. Even if they've only been in office for a week.
And to put that in perspective, it takes $1.32 to purchase 1 British pound.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Oh, I know. It works out about $324,000 annually. Now, do you know how much my pension's allowing me to make annually?
Oh, above your pension?
No, I'm saying my pension is going to be, I get £140 a month.
What?
For the 4 years I served in the army, I get £140 a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Now, I served.
How many years did you serve?
4.
So you get a pension. Does everybody get a pension that served?
Yes. Unless they get a dishonorable discharge.
Yeah, that doesn't work here. You have to go into retirement status to make anything from the military.
Yeah, over here, once you reach 60, you start receiving a military pension.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm nearly as old as you. Nearly. Although I do look better for it. No, but I started collecting my pension last month.
I'm trying to go through these. I want to get to the bottom. I know I'm.
Good luck on that.
I know I'm no Terry. Hey, there's my friend Stephen Sheets. Hey, good morning.
He must have sheet the bed.
No, he's a good singer. I'm gonna tell you what.
Terri's going to come back and she's going to say, "You let him on again."
Yeah. She's probably going to come back and say, "What did you do to my computer?"
I did nothing. Paul was on it. Go on, I've got broad shoulders. It's the rest of the back that's knackered.
Yeah. Next 100 days is if what he accomplished in the first 100 days happens in the next 100 days, man, I'm going to tell you something. They are moving. They are doing stuff that, and you know what? Here's the shite. Want to hear the shite? If
I didn't tell him to say that, Terry.
In 4 years, if for some reason we don't get somebody in there to follow on what he's doing now, and let's say a Democrat becomes president and they wipe out everything like they did the first time in his first presidency, everything he accomplished, they got rid of everything. They got rid of the shortened regulations. They got rid of everything. They stopped the drilling. They stopped everything. They did everything to actually hurt our country.
Yeah.
And if people didn't see that, okay,
they've got blinkers on because we saw that over here.
And you're living in a freaking basement somewhere because he had to start all over again. Get rid of all these stupid regulations. Why should it cost you so much to build, to start a company? It shouldn't. It is just absolutely asinine if you go back and see, hey, we were on the right direction and then boom, stop. I understand COVID was in there. I got that. But the decisions they made, every last one of them hurt our country.
Yeah.
Hurt your pocketbook. When I go to the store and I see a dozen eggs for $10 freaking dollars, okay, something's wrong.
I've got 8 left.
Yeah, something's wrong. And now they're saying, oh, yeah, we can't do this. We need congressional approval, and the Republicans are stopping us. But they had the majority and yada, 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 all these freaking excuses. So then Trump gets back into office. He says, you want a wall? Guess what? The next day, companies were back on the job building the freaking wall.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Biden do that? Why couldn't Biden do? The reason he didn't want to do it, and I'm going to tell you this, and this is what I truly believe, they were building up their voting base, thinking, hey, all these disenfranchised immigrants are coming into the States. They're going to hug us, okay? We're going to support them, and they're going to be government slaves because we're paying for everything. And if they don't do what we tell them, we're going to cut them off. Okay? Yeah. That's the mentality. Okay? Our African-American brothers and sisters have been in government slavery forever. They don't want them to get away. They want them right where they have them. They don't want them to live a better life. And how much bull crap is that? Okay? If they spend as much money to keep people dependent on the government, and they invested money instead of sending it to every freaking country for transgender studies by the millions and millions of dollars, but they invested it in our people to become
productive. They didn't send them a lot of money.
To improve their quality of life. If they use that money for good instead of evil, we'd have a different America today. And I'm done.
It goes back further than Biden.
It goes back. It goes back.
Obama was
so far back it's sickening.
Obama, and I will not call him by his real name, but Obama, because he's always bombing Michelle. But he literally was given money to start the war. What happened to it all?
Yeah.
He didn't do the war. And yet when Trump got in there and he started the war, they wouldn't give him the money that was promised. He says, well, Obama got it.
Yeah.
I'll just use that money. Oh, you can't. It's already gone.
Yeah.
Where's it gone? Because there's no war there.
Yeah.
Politicians
they started Social Security back in the Depression time period, and they did it to help the seniors survive the Depression. Okay.
Politicians got in there and they took all that.
FDR did all that to survive the Depression. They started Social Security to help the elderly because they became basically peasants. They had nothing. And that's why they started it. So, and you look at your check and they got your Social Security out of there. They got your Medicare out of there. You got their federal FDICA, is that taken out of there? Your state income tax is taken out of there. Boom. And you get to take the rest of it back. Thank you very much for working your ass off. And we're going to use this money in the most illicit manner humanly possible. We're going to take all this, we pay in over $5 trillion in taxes to the federal government. They spend $7 trillion each year. Why do we allow that to happen? Why do we allow that to happen? Okay. We allow that to happen because we don't want to get rid of the welfare system. We don't want to get rid of all these programs to help out single moms. We don't want to do this. And that's why people said, okay, I think we should be supporting this stuff. So do congressmen and senators. We should be supporting all these social programs. But then we don't know that trillions of dollars is going overseas to pay for all this bullshit that we just found out.
Yeah.
That right there, America should be so freaking pissed. Okay? So freaking pissed because we got money coming out of our yin yang. Okay? Our backside.
I knew what you meant.
And
you don't have to simplify it for me.
I mean, people are sitting there going, man, we got this money sitting here. Let's give it to something. And then everybody has their agenda. Everybody's giving shit to everybody else in the world for things that you shouldn't even be giving it for. And if we voted on it and said, hey, do you think we should spend $140 billion in South America for sex change operations, transgender studies, and to educate the people down there on transgender and whatever, or whatever it is. Okay. America is going to say, not no, but hell no. There is a small percentage, and I get it. The transgender community is less than 1% of 1% in America. Okay. But they have the loudest voice and everybody's seen it. And I truly believe, let people be who they want to be.
Why do they have the loudest voice?
But do not get me mixed up in your delusional thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. Do not make me have to put up with that crap. Don't sue me because you told me my pronoun is ibby dibby dobby do, whatever the hell it is. Okay. And you warned me and there was witnesses and I still called you by your name. Okay. People are going to court and suing people over shit like that. That needs to stop.
Oh yeah.
I don't give a shit about your feelings. Okay. Just be a man Just be a woman. If you're gay, be gay as you want to be. I don't care. Marry who you want to marry. I don't care. Okay? Yep. And all the religious groups who are saying, oh, that's an abomination and all this other garbage, shut your mouth. Because guess what? If you die, and when you die, I look at it this way. I'd rather believe in something and find out it's not true later than not believe in something and then find out later, hey, it is true. Okay?
Stay safe, Dave.
We'll find out. God will sort it out. If God said that was an abomination and you die and you go to heaven and he goes smack, 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 you're going down the chute to the burning fire of hell, that's his job, not yours. It's not your job to judge anybody. But then again, it's not our politicians, it's not our courts' business to say, you're going to think this way. Okay?
But
there ain't no freaking way in heck people are going to tell me, nope, it's against the law to think that way. It's against the law for you to say, hey, not, to address somebody in a certain way. Screw that. Okay? And our court systems are getting so freaking woke. I'm going to tell you something. Every time Trump does something, it's in a court somewhere and it's getting delayed and it's got to go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's got to say, hey, judge, down here, you're an idiot. You can't tell the executive branch how to run the executive branch. You're out of your lane. You're in the judicial branch. You can't tell the executor of the United States what he can and can't do. The son of a
Why
gun.
is he the only one that's had to go through it?
And here's the other thing. I don't know, but I'll tell you the other thing. There should be an easier way to get judges unemployed.
Oh, yeah. Especially the buggers that are helping these criminals.
They should be able to be fired just like another government employee. They should not be paid.
Those that have stopped them deportation should be made to pay for the next plane.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, Paul, I'm glad you came in today. I know we're at 10 o'clock right now. We've been on for whatever. I don't know. Who cares? But
no, I always lose time when I'm all here.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here. Bippity boppity boo. I don't know. I don't know all these proper words you're supposed to say to frickin' people. I don't care. But hey, we're usually do a show on Monday. Monday is, I'm telling you something. Next Friday we won't be on because I'm going to be at Mid-America. Mike's going to be busy. But I'm hoping, I don't know. I know we'll have a Sergeant's Talk TV on Tuesday. So I'll be live on Monday morning, 8:30 here Central Standard Time. Tuesday, I'll be live with Jason on Sergeant's Talk TV. Please join us in there. I don't think we're going to have time to do a live on Wednesday.
You bloody better.
The next morning, we're heading to Eufaula with Traders Fool, all kinds of crap. And we're going to be busy. So, guys, the videos will be out there. Make sure you watch the videos. And if you do a video, remember the hashtag MidAmerica YT 2025. If you hashtag it MidAmerica YT 2025, everybody can find the videos. Okay? Use that hashtag. You can find all the videos from Mid-America after and during it. Now, we'll probably go live off and on during there, during the whole thing. Set up a camera you can watch and see what the goings on is. And hell, if YouTube shuts it off, they shut it off. I don't care. Just remember, when you're at a meetup, watch what you say because it's saved forever. Okay? Because somebody's recording it. So anyway, guys.
Before you go, Mike.
Yeah.
To all you ladies out there that celebrate this weekend, happy Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, ours was in March.
I want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day this Sunday. Make your husband do something nice for you. I know you're not his mother, okay, but he has the checkbook. Your kids don't have the checkbook, okay? Make sure they take care of you, celebrate you for all the hard work you do. Bringing people into life is the hardest job in the world. Being a parent is the hardest job in the world, okay? Uh, According to some people, it's the easy thing, and their kids are running around now like crazy idiots. Okay, they're so freaking woke. Somebody didn't give them no home raising. But
Oh, I
anyway,
gave mine plenty of home raisins.
oh yeah. So anyway, guys, we love you. God bless you. Remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need, and always, always think of that. Guys, we love you. God bless you. We'll see you on the next one. All right, guys.
Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe, Big Mike.
It's Mother's Day weekend. Do something nice for your mama. That's all
Don't
I
do
got.
that again.